We are going to read this book about ladybugs and then do a life cycle wheel for a ladybug. After the story, you will need a piece of paper, some markers, and a pair of scissors. You can use crayons if you don't have markers. So pause the video and get those supplies, or listen to the story first. Ladybugs, Red, Fiery, and Bright by Mia Posada. Little round beetles with red coats and black spots crawl through gardens and trees and on flowers in pots. They are ladybugs. A crawling ladybug tickles your arm, but this little insect will cause you no harm. They are busy searching for food to eat. Tiny green insects called aphids taste sweet. If you see on the illustration some tiny aphids crawling on this plant. A ladybug may flee in fear from a hungry bird landing near. But eating a ladybug is a waste. To birds, they have a terrible taste. When a female ladybug has eggs to be laid, she finds a safe place on a leaf in the shade. Do you see her yellow eggs she laid on this leaf? In 5 days, the yellow eggs will turn white. The hatching day is now within sight. Tiny creatures climb out from their creamy white eggs. They have hairy gray bodies and long skinny legs. They are called larvae. Hungry larvae search for food right away. They can eat 100 aphids a day. See him eating the aphid? 100. A larva's skin cannot stretch, and since this is so, it must shed its old skin in order to grow. This is called molting. If you look here, he's molting his gray skin and he has new colors underneath. Its skin splits apart, the larva wiggles free. Its new larger skin fits more comfortably. When a ladybug larva is almost full grown, it attaches itself to a plant or a stone. It molts one last time the skin it outgrew. When it emerges, it has become something new. It is a pupa. The pupa is covered by a tough orange skin. It hides the changes taking place within. Its worm-like body is rounding out. Its coat becomes smooth. Tiny wings sprout. In 5 days, the pupa's shell starts to crack. A beetle crawls out with no spots on its back. You see the yellow beetle crawling out of the shell? Soon black spots come into sight. The yellow coat turns red, fiery and bright. The new ladybug spreads its wings out to dry. A few hours pass, then it's able to fly. Its spotted wing covers move off to the sides. It beats its wings and away it glides. See how the red hard outside can move and the wings are underneath. The new ladybugs with red coats and black spots crawl through gardens and trees and on flowers in pots. Now on this page, we're not going to read all about this, but we are going to look at some images of different kinds of ladybugs because they're not always red with black spots. Sometimes they're ash gray ladybugs with gray and black spots. There's a two-spotted ladybug who's black with red spots. Rhodalia cardinalis is almost red and black patterned instead of having spots. The 10-spotted ladybug here is yellow with black spots. And this eyed ladybug has special spots that are black with a white outline. That's very interesting. Now, on the last page, we have the parts of a ladybug, which you are labeling on Seesaw, but we are going to work on the life cycle of a ladybug because this book showed us all the stages of a ladybug life cycle. I want you to get a piece of paper and start by folding it in half with a hamburger fold. Make sure you have a hamburger fold that looks like a tall book. After you have your hamburger fold, you can take a crayon, marker, or pencil, and starting right about here at the top of your folded side, you're going to draw half of a circle going down to the bottom. Then I want you to cut on that line. And when you open it up, you have your life cycle wheel. The next step is to find that crease that you already made from folding the big paper and line it up from the top to the bottom. And you're going to make another crease. This gives you a line this way and a line this way, creating 4 equal parts, like a pizza pie. Then you can take a black marker or crayon and trace those lines. Now it's looking familiar to you from the life cycle wheels we make in our classroom. We've made life cycle wheels for spiders, for seasons, for plants, and today we're going to make one for the ladybug. Now, pick any piece of your pie to start. I'm going to start with this piece here. In our first piece, we're going to do the first stage in the ladybug's life cycle, and that is the eggs. So pick a marker. I like to use black, you know, for my words, and I'm going to write the word egg at the curved bottom of my pie piece. Then I'm going to draw a leaf, because a leaf is where the ladybug would lay her eggs. So I'm going to give it a stem and an outline first. And I'm going to stop there and get my yellow marker because the eggs were yellow. And I'm doing just little bumps of eggs all clustered together like she would lay them. Now if it starts to look like a big old scribble scrabble, you can pick a darker color to outline your eggs. I'm using brown. You could use orange or black, but that helps to show that you have many little eggs planted on that leaf. Then I'm going to go back and color in around the eggs to finish my leaf. There we go. So if I find in our story the page where she laid her eggs, I can see a little cluster of the yellow eggs just like we drew. Now let's get ready for the next stage. They crawl out of the eggs after they've turned white, and there's little larvae. Here's a really good image of what the larvae look like. So I'm going to take my wheel and turn it to the next piece. And I'm going to get my black marker again to label L-R-V-A. We're just going to draw one larva, so it's A, not A-E. The larva has a black body with some yellow on it. So I'm going to start with the outline of the black body that has these bumps that get bigger and bigger. And then there's the head. I'm going to make a spot for his eye and the rest of his head. And he's an insect with 6 legs. This is the side of him. So I'm just going to draw 3 legs on this side that you can see. Okay? And then I want to give him that yellow pattern. So I'm going to use my black marker to make an outline of where the yellow pattern is going on my guy. I'm going to color in the parts of his body that I want black with my black marker. Then I'm going to get yellow. Sometimes they are a little orange looking actually. You could use orange to do the rest. And there's my larva stage. Now, after the larva stage, he goes around and eats a little bit more, and finally, he starts to shed that skin into a hard, smooth coat. That's a tough coat that can hide him like a hiding place until he's ready to hatch out. So we're going to turn our wheel to the next pie piece, and we're going to draw this stage. First, we want to write the word pupa. The pupa stage. This is a hard piece that's hanging off of a leaf. So again, or it could hang off the stem or a stone, the book mentioned. I'm going to start mine on a leaf, just like the eggs. My leaf is going to be a little smaller this time, going sideways. Okay. Then I'm going to do a black outline because I notice it has a little bit of black on it. And it goes up just like this. This is what they look like if you saw them in real life. Kind of a bump. And it sticks to the leaf in one spot. He does have some pattern on his body, similar to the way his larva stage did. And when you see these in nature, they're sometimes yellow, sometimes orangish. So I'm going to find an orange marker for this stage. And I know sometimes when you color over black, it bleeds through to your other colors, but that's okay. Because look how good that looks. Now we're ready for the final stage in the ladybug's life cycle. Now remember, when he first came out, he was yellow with no spots, but we want to draw what represents the adult stage of the ladybug. So we're going to turn to our next pie piece, and in its adult stage, let's write the word adult. And I'm going to do another outline. I'm going to start with the head at the top. I'm going to make a little bump. The head is usually black. Maybe it has a little white on it if you want to add that detail. Make a little bump for the eyes. And 2 antennae. And then I'm going to draw a big section for the red part of the body, that hard shell that protects the wings. I'm going to divide it in half. And something we're going to talk about this week, especially because insects are a great time to talk about this word, is symmetry. Symmetry is when they're the same on both sides. So if I put 2 dots on this side, I need to put the same 2 dots on this side. I can put 3 and 3, 1 and 1. It's your choice, however many dots you want. I think I'm going to put 3, just like that. And it's got to be like a mirror on the other side to match. We're going to do a good symmetry lesson with butterflies later. Now I can color my adult ladybug with red. And we did see several different kinds of ladybugs at the back of our book. If you have another kind that really interests you, you could color that kind of ladybug in its adult stage. There he is. This is the life cycle of a ladybug. They start as an egg. They hatch into their larva stage. They form a pupa. And then they hatch out to their adult stage. Thank you for working on your life cycle of a ladybug with me today. I hope you enjoyed learning about ladybugs.